This is one that our legal counsel himself wanted to chat about. This comes down to Lil Durk. Now, I'm not familiar with Lil Durk's
Durky?
art. But and this is a long story, so I'm probably gonna wrap it up quick and let Adam summarize it for us. But Lil Durk's gritty raps about Chicago's street violence turned him into a chart-topping superstar. But the feds are now trying to use some of those lyrics to prove that he orchestrated a deadly plot to kill a rival in Los Angeles. Experts and civil libertarians say that the strategy is part of an alarming trend playing out in courtrooms across the country that undermines free speech and stigmatizes one of America's most popular art forms. Quote, a criminal proceeding, whether it's about detaining someone or about their ultimate conviction, is really about something that someone else is... Oh, I'm not reading all this shit. So basically, they're trying to use Lil Durk's lyrics against him in a court of law and using this as, what, a confession to crimes that he may or may not have committed, Adam? And so he's going to have to defend himself based on song lyrics that he rapped?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a few cases like this, right? So, there's this Lil Durk one, and he's being charged with certain crimes, and he raps, and his lyrics are very similar to those crimes. Right? Should you be able to use those lyrics in court against him? Right? There's another case that is really similar. It was one of the guys from when did you see that got killed?
Jam Master Jay?
No, it was the Jam Master Jay. Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. So that one, the guy who was accused of killing him rapped about shooting somebody in the head the exact same way in did a video of that song in front of a mural of Jam Master Jay. Right. So it's like I fucking shot him, like boom, 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 like right there.
Jam Master Jay was shot up 4 years ago. Guess what? I wasn't there.
Right.
I tell you that.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what he said. He's like, I fucking shot that. You might as well have said that in the song, right? You might as well have. You do a song about, shooting somebody in the way that guy in the picture right behind you got shot. And then somebody else testified to it, so he obviously did it. But the point is, those lyrics did not come into court. You could not use that one. But the Lil Durk situation, which is just general gangster shit that all rappers say, actually came into court, and that's because of there's a few reasons behind that, but. It's a weird situation, right? There's laws being passed now that say that you can't use rap lyrics at all in court. So that's why I brought it up. I mean, should you be able to just say whatever, even if it's completely obvious? Like OJ's book, like I did it, right? Like imagine if he had wrote that book before the murder trial was over.
Yeah. Well, you're missing the...
And you were like, no, you can't use the book.
You got to remember, in very tiny letters, it said, if I did it. That was the proper title of the book, okay? If I did it. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Okay, now I know it's quote-unquote circumstantial evidence, like rap lyrics, but if the details of the lyrics are really close to the actual crime that was committed... Yeah, it's circumstantial, but couldn't you try to use them to sway the jury to say, like, look, this son of a bitch, like, basically says he did exactly what we said he did. He's going to claim he's an artist and that this is expression of free speech. But to us, the prosecutors, it really sounds like an admittance of guilt. It sounds like a confession to us. But that's up for your decision. That's for you to decide. Could they do that, though? Is that admissible? Is that something that a tactic a lawyer might use in a trial case like this?
I mean, as soon as that lawyer did the thing you just did, they would throw his ass in jail for contempt right there. All right, so that's number one. The question
I have Tourette's, goddammit.
The question is whether or not the jury should even be able to hear that. Because, right, if you hear somebody's confession, right, which is what those lyrics really are, what you're saying they are, right, is that's so prejudicial, right? so a jury's going to just latch on to that. So that's what the question is, whether the jury should even be allowed to hear it in the first place, right? Because the idea is once something like that's in, it's over, right?
Yeah.
But should you allow even like general? Should you even allow general stuff?
Well,
right?
But see, if I was his attorney, I would come back and say, okay, I hear what this man just said about my client and his rap lyrics, but I'll give you some examples, some other rappers out there. Someone who's a true animal, Sean Combs, better known as P. Diddy or Puff Daddy. Lil Durk, his real name is Dirk Banks. Mr. Banks is hiding nothing. He calls himself Lil Durk. His name is Dirk. He's not trying to fleece you. He's not trying to get the wool over your eyes. Lil Durk is Dirk. He's an honest man. He did not commit these crimes.
Yeah, I think this is just a clear case of stupidity. Kind of what you alluded to, Adam, about like, yeah, this guy behind me in this, in this mural definitely shot him. Mm-hmm. Not, but I don't know. Like, what do you get? Like, a lot of them brag about slanging some pretty substantial amounts of drugs, either be crack rock or coke or heroin. Mm-hmm. I mean, is that grounds for you to then, investigate their lives to see if they're actually doing said things?
Well, I don't know. To investigate, I mean, you can investigate anybody. You can
investigate whatever. Yeah.
I'm investigating you three all right now.
Well,
police officer.
That's fair.
Well, like Willie Nelson, well known for smoking pot, like he said he had to send 2 tour buses out because his would always get raided. So he'd have one bus that had all the drugs on it, and then he'd have a bus with him and his group on it. So, yes, they do become suspicious of you when you talk about openly doing things that you openly do. So, but see, here's the thing, Adam. Where do you stand on this? Are you saying like bullshit? They shouldn't bring those into court, or are you saying like, I mean, if they fit the crime, they should be admitted into evidence? Because you're using the Jam Master Jay one as a, I don't know. I guess what I'm getting at is it doesn't seem like you're helping your case by saying like this guy literally said, "I shot that guy in the picture behind me, boom, boom, cap, cap," and then if that's kind of a confession. Then
boom, boom, cap, cap, shaw, shaw.
Case closed. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like you're kind of advocating in one stance and not in the other.
Yeah, I'm conflicted about it because, I feel like that something like the Jam Master Jay one should come in, right? I mean, if you were going to be specific, right? I mean, here's the weird part. All right, so the law out there, let's say the general law, like across the country, right, if I were to take a sample, is that in order for the lyric to be heard by the jury, it has to be specific, like the Jam Master Jay thing, and it fit the crime, right? Facts match up, all that stuff, right?
If the lyric don't fit, you must have quit. There it is, man. Put me on there.
But the weird thing is that one did not come in because, there's law in New York and California that say that no rap lyrics can be used in court, period, right? End of discussion. Doesn't matter.
Is it just rap lyrics or is it like music lyrics, period?
Any music lyrics? My guess would be it's all
I'm just
music.
interested. Yeah.
I actually think it got started because of rap lyrics.
Well,
so I
yeah,
think the bill is actually called that, but I assume that the bill encompasses any sort of music.
Yeah, I mean, every rose has its thorn is obviously a metaphor for poisoning people.
I was just curious.
Yes.
Well, like Johnny Cash had a number of fucking songs where I'm like, you definitely did that. We're not even questioning that one.
All right. Now, this might be omitting some other pertinent information, but my eyes caught this. An FBI agent said Lil Durk had recorded another song celebrating that deadly shooting, which happened on Chicago's far side of Chicago in 2022. Quote, "My brother D-Thang just got killed, and I've been slow since, but we got back on their ass. I bet they know this." So basically, if there was something that happened in like January to March of 2022 to the people, he's literally saying in the song, like, they killed my brother. I just said what his name is, and we just went and shot the people who did that thing to my brother D-Thang. Like, it sounds like he's kind of saying, like, yeah, we did that shit. And so,
yeah, but it's a little vague.
It is vague. Like, you still got to get a weapon. I still think you got to get him at the scene. But I think if you got a jury and they're deliberating, like, you think he did it, yes or no, I mean, if I'm an attorney, I want those rap lyrics in the court
as evidence. Yeah.
So this is a weird part into all this too, is that so the jury's going to hear that in this case, right? They're going to hear those lyrics, but the case, what he's being charged with, is conspiracy, right? He's being charged with being part of a gang, right? So a gang situation is all about, working, as a unit, right? You have to show interconnections.
Is this a RICO case?
Yeah, exactly. Same sort of idea, right? So what you show is the general conspiracy. It's a proclivity to kill people, deal in drugs, right? All this stuff. So generalized lyrics, or even like non-specific lyrics about
that could work.
He didn't say he killed him. He said we got him back. Right.
As an organized unit. Yeah.
So that's why it comes in this case, even though generalized stuff, and in the Lil Durk case too, like other lyrics come in that just say like, we even more general, like we get money, we kill motherfuckers, like I don't know specifics, but it's just so general. And then the judge is going to instruct on the specific one that you mentioned, Murr. The judge is going to read a charge to the jury at the end that's going to say, hey, you know how they read that lyric about how they shot that guy, and it was really specific, like even like named the fucking date, right? It matches up perfectly. Well, that's, you just only consider that for the general conspiracy. You can't consider that for whether or not that he actually killed him. I know he said like I killed him, but like, ignore that part. Just think about how it's all part of the general conspiracy.
Yeah.
A judge is going to instruct the jury to do that. And that's really weird too, right? Like, but then you have a specific one that comes in or does not come in the Jam Master Jay thing. Right?
I just fear that like when the jury sits back and they're deliberating and they're listening to all Lil Durk's music, they just end up having like an argument about like who the best rappers are. Yo, put on.
If you've never heard Lil Durk's music, there won't be that argument. I promise you.
Yeah, he's guilty of being a shitty rapper.
Yeah, he's
but a good shot.
There was like a year that I think like the music industry wanted him to pop, and they put him on like every big rapper's fucking like hit single, and he was the wasted verse. Like you were just like, Jesus Christ, this guy's at the end. All right, moving on. Like, yeah, he's terrible.
Well,